I feel like I'm out there loaning him my arms and his legs so he can compete just like everybody else.
Step by step, for more than 3 decades, Dick Hoyt and his son Rick have been on a journey of sorts.
There isn't anything you can't do as long as you make up your mind to do it, and there's no such word as no in the Hoyt vocabulary.
Shortly after Rick Hoyt was born, he was diagnosed with cerebral palsy. Unable to control his body or speak, doctors recommended he be institutionalized. But his father knew better. All he had to do was look in Rick's eyes.
Mentally, he is so bright. I wish I was as smart as him. He inspires me, he always have, because the easiest thing for him in the world is to give up.
The Hoyts got Rick a special computer to help him communicate and enrolled him in school. While in middle school, he decided he wanted to enter a charity race to support a paralyzed athlete, and he wanted his father to do it with him.
Well, at the time, I was 40 years old. I was not a runner, and it's all we had was a Mulholland wheelchair, similar to the one he's sitting in now.
But that didn't stop either of them. This picture snapped just as they crossed the finish line in 1977.
Rick, and he had the biggest smile you ever saw in your life. And when we got home that night, he wrote on his computer, "Dad, when I'm running, it feels like my disability disappears."
Since then, Rick went on to graduate from Boston University, and their journey has taken them on more than 1,000 races, including 257 triathlons. Through it all, their favorite race is and has always been the Boston Marathon. Last year's race is one they will never forget.
We didn't know anything was going on. We got to the 23-mile marker, and I noticed a lot more police activity than usually on the course. So I stopped the police officer. Who would ever thought that somebody would do something like this?
Their dedication to the marathon inspiring a city and a country.
In the words of Dick Hoyt, who's pushed his disabled son Rick in 31 Boston marathons, we can't let something like this stop us.
Yes, the Hoyts have run the marathon 31 times, but 32 on Monday will be their last together. Hoyt is now 73 years old, and while his heart is in the race, his back just can't take it.
It's going to be, it's going to be a sad day.
How are you feeling now, Rick, now that you will not be running in the Boston Marathon after this year?
I feel a little sad that Dad and I are not continuing together in the Boston Marathon.
They'll keep running smaller races and doing something else they enjoy, sharing their story with others.
We've been able to break down a lot of barriers along the way.
After hearing my speech, my hope is that it will change their attitudes towards people who have a disability.
Their story has touched so many, Boston Marathon officials dedicated a statue in their honor.
52 years ago when Rick was born, they said put him away, put him in an institution. It's unbelievable. Whoever would have thought? But I really think it's helped us to bond ourselves together. We are not heroes. A lot of people say you are heroes, but we're not heroes. Heroes are people who go out and they risk their life to save somebody else's life.
But you've also changed a lot of lives. So I think I would argue you are a hero, and that both of you, and that you've changed a lot of lives.
Oh, thank you.
We'll keep watching you each step of the way. For Unguarded, Jason Carroll, CNN, Boston.